What if I told you that most people lose the battles that matter long before the first word is spoken or the first move is made? Not because they lack intelligence, skill, or opportunity, but because they surrender to the first impulse that surges through their chest. They fire back the message they'll regret in the morning. They say yes to what deserves a no. They write paragraphs defending what needs only a single quiet line. They react. They rush. They justify. And then they spend the next day cleaning up the mess, apologizing, explaining, trying to rewind what can't be rewound. The ancient Stoics saw this pattern clearly. Impulse is a poor captain, noise is a poor teacher, and the mind that can hold its fire for a breath can redirect the entire course of a life. Calm is not passivity. Calm is command. Patience is not delay. Patience is leverage. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a shield that keeps your power from leaking away. If you've ever felt the hot pull to respond right now, to move faster than your clarity, to explain yourself to people who were never going to be satisfied, this is your wake-up call and your toolkit, forged from ideas that survived plagues and wars and the small humiliations of daily living. Before we go deeper, do something simple that reminds your future self you meant it when you said you were going to get stronger. Subscribe to the channel right now and hit like so this message of calm power reaches more people who need it. And speak up in the comments as we move. Tell me if this happens to you, if you've watched yourself react, rush, or justify and wanted a different ending. Tell me if you know someone who did this and regretted it later. Your story might be the line that stops someone else from diving headfirst into a bad decision tonight. The first shift is small and radical. Give yourself the first breath. When the phone lights up with a message designed to hook your fear or pride, when someone's tone tilts your stomach, when a deadline starts to hiss in your ear, buy 5 seconds and do nothing. Not forever, just 5 seconds. Relax your jaw, lower your shoulders. Inhale through your nose for 4, hold for 1, exhale for 6. In that small span, you climb out of the amygdala's fire and into the cockpit where choice lives. Those seconds are not empty. They are full of your future. You are not a machine that must fire because a button was pressed. You are a person who can wait long enough for the best version of yourself to arrive. The difference between a reaction and a response is a single breath, and the lives built by responses don't need as many apologies. You will be tempted to believe that speed equals competence, but speed without clarity is panic wearing a lab coat. The Stoic way is not slow for the sake of slow. It is precise for the sake of what matters. Ask the smallest useful question before you move. What is the actual problem in front of me, not the 10 I'm imagining? What single action would move this forward even if I can't finish the whole thing today? Who needs to hear one sentence from me, not a book? Most panic is a fog you can walk through with one clear step. Rushing multiplies the fog. Deliberate movement clears it. It is better to walk decisively toward the right door than sprint down the wrong hallway and call that productivity. The instinct to justify, to tell a long story about why you're saying no, why you're choosing differently, why you're not available, looks like kindness, but often springs from fear. Explanations can be useful. Explanations can also be invitations to argue with your boundaries. When you state your line once cleanly, you respect yourself and the other person enough to stand inside what you meant. That doesn't work for me. I won't be taking this on. I'll get back to you at 3 o'clock. A single sentence is a closed door to chaos and an open door to clarity. If you feel the itch to justify, write the paragraph in your notes, take the heat out of your chest, and then send the one line that still means what you meant when your nervous system settled. You may say, but what if they misinterpret me? Some will. You cannot control that. You can control saying the true thing in a clear way and meeting the consequences without flinching. The person who needs your essay will not be satisfied by it. The person who respects your line doesn't need it. Life is kinder than we think when we act cleanly, and it is crueler than we hope when we try to negotiate with every opinion that knocks. The Stoics remind us to love fate by loving our own agency inside it. Love that you have the power to send one true sentence. Love that you can take one breath and choose not to feed a fire that wants to eat your afternoon. Love that you can wait 2 minutes and save 2 months. Picture a day where you practice this. The morning brings a terse email. Instead of reacting, you breathe once and write, "Received," circling back at 3 p.m. with an option. You put the time block on your calendar, gather the details, and send a calm note at 3 with one decision and one path forward. A friend asks you to rescue their schedule with 0 notice. Instead of rushing to fill the silence with 1,000 reasons, you say, "Can't this weekend. I can do Friday next week." A loved one throws a hot accusation. Instead of defending your character with 12 paragraphs, you say, "I want to understand. What did I miss right now?" You move the room from courtroom to clinic, where diagnosis replaces drama. You didn't become colder, you became precise. You didn't run from conflict. You walked it to a place where something real could happen. The habits that build this life are small. Buy time with a breath. Buy clarity with a 2-minute pause before big sends. Buy respect with one boundary sentence you chose in the morning and practiced once in a mirror. Buy your future with the 80% rule that ships a useful thing today and schedules version 2 instead of holding your work hostage to perfection. If your heart is pounding while your fingers type, that is a red light. Stand up, drink water, look at the message again and ask, what would a calm professional send? Send that. Let silence do what essays never can. People often push because they can. When they realize you are a person who does not wobble at every gust, most storms weaken before they reach your door. Some truths live in the body before they live in the mind. Exhale longer than you inhale and your nervous system begins to believe you. Cool your palm on a desk or a bottle and your body receives a signal. Stand down. Slow your voice by 1 notch and listen to the music in your words. Change the weather in a room. Every skill here is trainable. Calm is not a gift you either have or lack. Calm is a muscle you either work or let atrophy. Work it in the smallest reps possible. You do not need a monk's life to build a soldier's composure. You need to stop letting every buzzing, blinking thing tell your heart what to do. You will be told that you are too quiet. You will be told that you move too slowly. You will be told that you should explain yourself more. Smile. The results that matter will tell a different story in time. The deal rescued by a 2-minute pause. The relationship saved by a question instead of a counterpunch. The week you didn't lose because you refused to bleed out your energy defending a simple no. This is not a philosophy of doing nothing. It is a philosophy of doing the right thing at the right time with the right words and leaving the rest where it belongs. Outside your control. Do not mistake flamboyance for courage. The fiercest move on the board is often the quietest line drawn at the right moment. You do not owe every stranger access to your nervous system. You do not owe every colleague a piece of your evening. You do not owe your future to the urgency of someone else's calendar. What you owe, if you are serious about living a life you respect, is to respond when you are ready, to move when the step is true, and to hold your frame when it is tested. This does not make you rigid. It makes you real. It does not make you indifferent. It makes you immune to noise. When in doubt, imagine the person you most respect standing over your shoulder. Would they be impressed by the speed of your reply or the clarity of it? Would they value the size of your justification or the shape of your boundary? Would they want you to send another paragraph or another calm, useful sentence? Live that way and let your reputation earn its own gravity. Right here, pause for a few seconds and anchor this change with a simple action that keeps you in the room when life gets loud. Subscribe and like this video so it finds the people who need it when it matters. And then, in the comments, tell me the moment that gets you, the hot text, the last-minute ask, the urge to explain, and mark it with a line. Right there, does this happen to you? And do you know someone who did this? And tag the person you want to protect from their own reflex. Public words can become private rails. Put your line where you can't dodge it later. Now imagine the next crisis that usually hijacks you. The headline you hate, the comment that pokes the bruise, the request that arrives with someone else's panic wrapped around it. See yourself doing what you always do. Then run the film again and change one thing: your breath. The movie shifts. You don't fight with the screen, you adjust the projector. See yourself buying 2 minutes before you hit send. See yourself writing one sentence and letting it stand alone. See yourself going for a walk around the block before you decide. See yourself returning to the table with the one question that moves the conversation to the root. Results change when your tempo changes. Most of the damage we do comes from a simple mismatch, the speed of our hands and the speed of our understanding. Bring them into alignment and doors that were slammed start to open like they were always unlocked. The urge to defend yourself is not evil, it is ancient. But there is a difference between defending a value and defending your vanity. The first is noble, the second is exhausting. When someone misreads you in good faith, offer a clean clarification and move on. When someone is committed to misunderstanding you, let their commitment be theirs. Your job is not to win every story told about you. Your job is to live in such a way that stories that truly matter collapse into facts when people meet you twice. And if your hands are clean, your words can be few. Let pattern speak. Pattern is louder than paragraphs, kinder than arguments, and truer than the mood of the moment. Some of you will ask, what if I wait and lose my chance? Waiting is not the same as hiding. Pausing is not the same as procrastinating. The pause we are building is not a void. It is a forge. 2 minutes to define what matters is the opposite of avoidance. A morning to think before you speak is the opposite of cowardice. If you are in danger, move now. If you are in discomfort, breathe and then move clean. Time is a tool. It can rot decisions when used as an excuse. It can refine decisions when used as a lens. The difference is intention. Rushing is time without intention. Patience is time shaped by intention. You can feel the difference in your body. One scrambles, the other steadies. Practice in low-stakes rooms. When your coffee spills, don't curse. Clean it slowly, breathe, and teach your body that not every surprise needs a flare. When traffic bites, keep the space between cars and your chest. When you forget a word in a meeting, smile, say, "Give me a second," and let the room learn that you're not a hostage of awkwardness. These moments are not trivial. They are the gym where your nervous system adds weight to the bar without tearing anything. When the heavy day comes, and it always comes, you will lift what breaks other people, not because you never get scared, but because you trained your fear to wait its turn. There will be people who test you, on purpose or by accident. A baiting message that offers you two bad choices: lash out or look weak. Choose the third. The strong, quiet line that says, "I'll come back with an answer at noon," and then the answer you chose on purpose. A push to move a deadline that breaks your team's sleep. Choose the third. Not possible this week. I can propose 2 options tomorrow. A guilt trip designed to make your no sound cruel. Choose the third. I can't take this on and I care about you, so I'm not going to say yes and fail you later. The person who lives by reactions will not understand you. The person who lives by results will. There is beauty in leaving some things unsaid. There is power in leaving some emails unanswered until you are the person who should write them. There is wisdom in letting your first draft stay inside your own notebook. The world does not need your immediate heat as much as it needs your eventual clarity. You will miss the high of the instant clapback, yes. You will also miss the low of the later regret. If you want a life that feels like a home, trade the sugar rush for the steady meal. People will learn to trust you not because you are always available, but because when you show up, you are useful and stable and clear. Build small rituals that keep your hands off the send key until your head and heart are on the same page. Put your phone in another room for the first 45 minutes of the morning so someone else's emergency doesn't take your day hostage. Promise yourself you will never send a heated message without standing up and taking 20 steps first. End every night by writing the 3 realities that mattered and the 1 line you'll need tomorrow. Put a glass of water next to your bed so your first act is care, not consumption. The person who cares for their attention first thing is more dangerous in the best way than the person who sprints into their feeds and lets a million strangers decide who they will be for the next 12 hours. You don't have to go to war to practice courage. Courage lives in the small places, in letting someone else finish their sentence, in letting a silence stretch until the truth has room to enter, in letting a no stand without a justification made of sugar and apology. It lives in telling your own body, "I know you want to move, but we are going to wait for the smarter part of us," and then doing it. It lives in being the last person to speak in a meeting, because you wanted to hear what everyone else said before you shaped the call. The person who trains this way will be accused of slowness until the day the building is on fire and everyone turns to them because they are the only one who knows how to move without making the fire bigger. If you've stayed with me to this point, you're not just curious, you're ready. So make the commitment public and practical. Subscribe now and hit like, so this calm spreads in a world that needs it. And then go to the comments and write the exact sentence you will use this week when the heat rises. Write it in your language. I'll circle back at 3 p.m. That doesn't work for me. I'm not discussing this further. Or simply write the prompt that keeps you honest. Does this happen to you? Do you know someone who did this? And tag the person you want to see calmer and stronger a month from now. Public promises aren't magic. They are friction. Friction keeps wheels from spinning in place. In the end, this is not about being admired for how gentle you are or feared for how firm you are. It is about building a life you respect when the lights are off and the room is quiet. The laws are simple and heavy. Never react, never rush, never justify. Hold them like a coin in your pocket and touch them when your hand reaches for the old habit. A life lived by these laws does not avoid conflict. It creates the conditions for honest conflict to end in decisions. It does not avoid speed. It chooses the speed that matches the moment. It does not avoid explanation. It offers it when it's useful and withdraws it when it's a disguised bid for permission. Every time you obey the laws, you grow a spine that bends less when the wind screams. Every time you break them, repair quickly. Own the miss in one clean line. Extract the rule you'll use next time. Do one right thing before the day ends. And sleep. Tomorrow will hand you a test. Someone will push your buttons. Someone will hurry you. Someone will ask for the essay you don't owe. Walk in ready. Take the first breath. Buy the first 2 minutes. Keep the one sentence close. If you forget, start again at the next moment. Calm is not a medal you win. It is a move you repeat until it becomes who you are under pressure. The world will try to sell you the drama of the reactive life. You can let them keep it. Take the quiet. Take the clarity. Take the dignity that comes from deciding which parts of you get to drive. And when you reach the end of the day and you were not perfect, but you were better, write that down. Confidence grows in the garden of evidence. As we close, I want you to breathe with me one more time and picture the version of you who doesn't hand their power away for free. See their face. See their posture. See their inbox and their calendar and their home. See the space where panic used to live, now filled with choices. That is not another person. That is you with 5 seconds and 2 minutes and 1 sentence. That is you with the discipline to move when it matters and to wait when it doesn't. That is you with the courage to let some people think what they will while you build what you said you would build. If this helped you, even a little, subscribe and like. So this finds the next person the moment before they make a mistake they can avoid. And leave one last line in the comments to mark the turn. Tell me the thing you will refuse to react to, the place you will refuse to rush, the boundary you will refuse to justify. Tell me, in your words or in mine, that you are done giving away your peace for cheap. Does this happen to you? Do you know someone who did this? Send this to them. Steady is contagious. Patience is contagious. Silence, used well, is contagious. Spread it until rooms change when you enter, not because you raised your voice, but because you didn't need to.